Hello, my friends. My name is Adam, and I'm on a quest to be the most prolific reviewer of all time. And to do that, I review books, movies, podcasts, plays, birds, whatever I want, basically. I need to do about 15,000 reviews, and you can imagine that that is a lot of reviews. I like podcasts a lot, and today I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite podcasts of all time, which is called Mission to Zyxx. And usually I listen to history podcasts, but this is a podcast that I don't know makes me feel good about the world and about the universe. It's a speculative fiction podcast, but it's also a comedy, improvised comedy. So you can imagine, and I'll tell you a little bit about the cast and about the podcast more a bit later. But this is one of the few pieces of media that. So basically, what would happen is I would start to listen to the podcast, and I would listen to other things because they have a huge back catalog, right? And I wouldn't get to the end, and then I would lose my phone or break my phone, and then I would start at the beginning again without any problems. Because most times, if that happened, I would just try and find the last episode and then listen from there. But no problems going back and listening to it. So I think I've done that like 3 or 4 times because it's not a show where you can quote what happens. Like there's not like funny quotations from the show that people will remember, but it's just really, really funny. It's just one of those things where a character will say something and then you're like, oh, oh, that's really, really hilarious. So, a bit about the show. So, it's created by and written by, although it's improvised, Alden Ford. He plays Plek Dexter. Ali Kokesh, she plays Dar. Jeremy Bent, he plays C3, and I don't want to say C3PO because it's not C3PO. It's C353, and Seth Lind as operations manager Nermit Bundeloy, and Winston Knoll as a bunch of different characters, but mainly as a Clint called AJ2884. So Alden is this kind of like Luke Skywalker character. So he's clearly like, it's parody, right? But think about it parody on the level of the Discworld series. So clearly, like there are references to pop culture, but it stands as its own thing, I think. And Ali Kokesh is Dar, and she is this. Well, she's non-gender because she's an alien, but she's like huge and intimidating, and really, really funny. They have a baby called Horse Hat, which is kind of funny. Jeremy Bent is C53, which is this kind of like C3PO, kind of plays the same role, but much less annoying and irritating, and also has more backstory than C3PO. And Seth Lind, as I said, is Nermit Bundeloy, who is this sort of like lizard bird creature, but also incredibly bureaucratic, and it's just really fun. And him and Dar have a relationship, which is, she's this towering beast of an alien, and he's this tiny like little bird creature. I mean, lizard, but like, before the birds evolved, basically. So he has his nature that he fights against, but he also has things that he wants. Oh, and I didn't say Oh, yeah, and Winston Knoll plays AJ, as I said, and he has this like character that's incredibly dumb, but because he's dumb, he has these moments where he's like the voice of the audience and the voice of reason. He doesn't like time travel shenanigans. Very, very funny. And then Mujan, who I didn't mention before, Mujan Zalfagari is the Bargerian Jade, who is like this sentient spaceship who had a movie career and now she's kind of washed up. And the thing about the show that's really great is they managed to create a believable universe, but everything in the show, like basically if something happens, they have to like the one of the rules of the show is that that is now canon. So like they mentioned the money and people will make all of these like throwaway jokes, but it will affect what happens later. It'll affect how the world works later, you know. So the lightsaber thing, which is not a lightsaber, it's just a wooden stick. It's called a dingle hopper because some character calls it a dingle hopper, and they don't actually, because, you know, this is not in our world, they don't actually use any of our swear words. They say, like, what the juck, and oh my rod, and things like that, because God doesn't exist in this universe, but Rod does, and it's not God. So it's just so, so funny, and they're really good at acting those characters. And I'm getting towards the end of the feed, and they have a lot of bonus content where they talk about their art and how they became improv performers and people that they work with. And you can tell that this is something that they feel a lot of passion for, and it really is reflected in what you can hear. And the other thing about it is that even though it's like this ridiculous concept, this sci-fi improvised comedy in space, the sound production takes it very, very seriously. Like you listen to the opening crawl narration and it's like dun, 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 dun. Like that's from Star Wars, but they have their own music, they have their own themes. It's great. The music production is quite good. And I think Seth Lind is behind that, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe somebody else. Yeah. So it's really great. It's kind of like a comfort podcast for me. If those exist, well, I mean, they do for me. This one does. They're currently working on the old chronicles of, no, the young chronicles of old, I forgot what, old Dearth. So basically it's kind of like a prequel to the series, and yeah, I would recommend starting from the beginning and listening to it until the end, like I have done. It's a lot of content. You'll be laughing, you'll be thanking me if you haven't actually listened to it. And if you have listened to it, maybe put in the comments what you like about it or don't like about it. If you like what I do, please go to the show notes. Not the show notes. Go to the comment section, write, hey, like what you do, or don't like what you do. And yeah, like the video, and please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 900 subscribers by the end of April, and we're at 851, I believe. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.